By the end of today's episode, either our season will be over or we will be in the final of the Champions League. That's right, only Manchester City stand between us and an opportunity to prove we are among Europe's elite. But that will of course be our featured game in today's episode. I'll also show you highlights of the away leg, as well as our trip to face Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga. We will quick sim our remaining fixtures against Wolfsburg, and then to round out Season 1 against Holstein. A number of episodes so far this season have had long intros, but we're going to be jumping straight into the featured game today. Depending on how those fixtures against Manchester City go, we might have a slightly longer outro, because of course if our season does end here today, we will have some business to attend to heading into Season 2. Objectives, awards, CoreDNA, and things of that nature. But if we do make it to the final, all of that will have to wait for another day. So without further ado, let's head over to Signal Iduna Park and see if we can take a lead to the Etihad in the second leg of the Champions League semi-final. So this should, in theory, probably be our toughest test of the season so far. And we'll see if it plays out that way. We've had some trouble in recent episodes trying to find the right level of challenge. We are once again playing on ultimate difficulty and with a modified slider set. One that I think potentially could be final. As Adeyemi strikes from range, Edison parries up, claims on the second occasion. But I think we should hopefully have a setup here where Manchester City will pose the challenge that you would expect them to pose. But not such a challenge that it's impossible for us to win the game. Today's video is sponsored by Enigma Football, the UK's leading supplier of football shirt mystery boxes. Whether you're looking for a fun way to expand your own football shirt collection, or you're looking for a unique gift for the diehard football fan in your life, Enigma Football have got you covered. Their mystery boxes start at just $34.99, which is almost half the standard retail price, and you can be 100% sure that their shirts are authentic because they get them straight from the clubs and manufacturers themselves. And you can reduce that price even further by using code LAMBZY at the checkout for 10% off your first order. That code applies to any single football shirt mystery box, and it also applies to the first month of any mystery box subscription package, where you'll receive a fresh new shirt on your doorstep every single month. You can be sure you'll get a shirt that you like too. You can ask Enigma Football to send you a shirt from a specific league with a specific color or pattern, or to avoid certain teams. And if you still don't like what they send, you have 60 days to either return or exchange it. So head over to Enigma Football and place your order today. The link is in the description, and be sure to use code LAMBZY at the checkout for 10% off your first order. Shout out to Enigma Football for sponsoring the video and for hooking me up with a couple of shirts, including a Dortmund shirt for this series. Now let's get back to the video. Couple of interesting decisions starting 11 wise, and we have said that on a number of occasions so far this season. primarily because we have been struggling with various injuries. And that continues to be the case, which is why Pascal Gross starts at right back for us today. And that's a great ball in behind to Haaland. He get the shot away, blocked. Manchester City still posing a danger though through Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva. We've got to get out to meet the ball carrier there. I think it was Frankie de Jong, who seems to be starting ahead of Kevin De Bruyne today. Or really, Rodri is the player starting ahead of Kevin De Bruyne at cam. So some interesting decisions in Manchester City starting 11 as well. A midfield three of Frankie de Jong, Gundogan and Rodri. Grealish and Bernardo Silva outside Erling Haaland, and it is Grealish who forces his way towards our penalty area, and it is de Jong once more. Haaland finishes. And Manchester City do take the lead. This is what we've asked for, to be fair. This is what we've signed up for. The ball into Haaland's feet, and he does punish us. I thought we had it covered with Anton. And we did the right thing there. Just take away the inside option. Don't allow Haaland to turn inside onto his right foot. And he kind of feinted that way. I took the bait. He spun the other way and dispatched the opportunity with his left foot into the near post. And Manchester City lead within 10 minutes here. That's a great challenge from Guardiola. We have also made one other change, which is to put the referee strictness down to lenient. I have had it on strict at previous times this season, and it's been too high. It was good on strict early in the year, but a couple of updates have meant that strict was too strict. Manchester City pressing us high here. Do manage to find an outlet through Jamie Gittins though. Poor pass from Julian Brandt. And we've had referee strictness on default for the last several episodes. But even that seems to be too strict, as we saw in the semi-final with Mo Salah getting sent off. That's a great save. Great save from Kobel. So we are trying on lenient for today. But Manchester City, as we said, this is what we asked for. This is what we wanted, a challenge. And we are certainly getting what we asked for. Be careful what you wish for, I guess. Great save again, Kobel. City looking to double their lead through Bernardo Silva. Just 15 minutes into the game. I think we need to try and get a foothold here somehow. Adeyemi heads clear. Need to get a foothold here if our season is not going to end here today. We are almost guaranteed to qualify for the Champions League and the Bundesliga. So really these final Champions League games are the only ones that have any real significance for the season. That's such a good block by Schlotterbeck. Adeyemi has pace to break, has been hacked down. And this will be where we see exactly how strict the referee is going to be. And it is just a yellow for Rodrigo. And it's a yellow card simply for preventing the quick counter, I think. And I think that is a yellow card, to be fair. That's not too dissimilar from the one that we saw Mo Salah get sent off for in that semi-final against Liverpool. There's a great run from Bayer, and wanted the Adeyemi with the initial pass. Ended up squeezing its way through to Julian Brandt. And we couldn't quite find Adeyemi on the return ball. And Mecha. Jamie Gittins in behind. Lofts it up towards Brandt at the back post. And Adeyemi will fight for the ball and will come away with the ball. We'll find Brandt. We'll try and turn just like Haaland did. Rudiger does a slightly better job than Anton. And Ederson parries away at the near post. Decent enough effort by Brandt though. Just had to get his head down, put his foot through it, make sure that he gets it on target. Because either Ederson will parry back out into a dangerous area, or we will get a set piece that we could profit from. And it's the latter. And it falls to Zabitzer, who tries to hit it on the half volley. But it is blocked immediately by a City defender. And City will look to break. Do a good job of delaying the counter-attack, though. Bernardo Silva. Find Phil Foden. That's a really good ball in behind. And Haaland dispatches a second attempt. Really good ball in behind. Not sure if that was Foden or Silva. I think it was Foden. And that Foden to Haaland connection, it's been one that we are... Oh, look at that ball. That's such a perfectly placed pass. And as we said a couple of times, we wanted a challenge. This is exactly the kind of challenge that we wanted. Fortunately, it does mean that we're 2-0 down within 25 minutes. Gittins. Don't think we have to worry too much, since, of course, there will be a second leg. We do have to worry that our players in attack just seem to stand and watch. Just waiting for Julian Brandt to make that run into the clearly vacant space that Kyle Walker had left behind. And he just stood and watched. But I don't think we have to worry too much at 2-0 down. If Man City extend their lead even further in today's game, then I think we do have to be concerned about that trip to the Etihad. But I think as long as we stay within touching distance here at home, we can at least give ourselves an opportunity travelling away. And if we can grab a goal back in this game somehow, I think I'd be not happy exactly, but maybe content, maybe somewhat satisfied with a 2-1 defeat and just a single goal disadvantage heading into the second leg. Mecha, heavy touch, finds Adeyemi. Just a little bit disjointed at the moment going forward. Pascal Gross finds Jamie Gittins on the far side. The ball just hangs up in the air slightly too long. So Gittins simply has to nod down to Ryerson. That's what I mean, just a little disjointed. Just the run's not quite timed correctly, not quite into the right areas of the field. Players not quite open when we initially feed the ball into feet, so we have to take a touch or two and wait for runs to develop. That's a great block again by Schlotterbeck, who continues to be our best defender. He's had an excellent season. And Bayer, again, he's just made the wrong run. You're running into two defenders there. There's so much space in the channel. Instead, he turns inside and runs into two defenders. Bardiol beaten, or beats rather, Adeyemi. Gross gets the foot in. Certainly misplaced at right back, Pascal Gross. It is technically a secondary position for him, and he has been known to play there, certainly for Brighton, from time to time. Well cut out by Zabitzer. Grealish, good challenge again, Schlotterbeck, and we'll find Julian Brandt. But Pascal Gross, definitely more of a traditional fullback if you do want him to play at right back. And it was a good run from Zabitzer, continuing that forward trajectory. Bayer would just have to turn back towards Adeyemi, who's just going to have to shoot from range. And it's not a bad effort, to be fair, but there's just nothing on. We can't get into a rhythm or a flow going forward. Julian Brandt just standing in an offside position. Max Bayer, for some reason, not even in the penalty area, kind of on the back corner of the penalty area, behind even Adeyemi. And as usual, we do have him on advanced forward. Seems to be one of the issues with FC25, though. Just there's no player role that you can put a striker on where they genuinely kind of always play as a true number 9, a fox in the box, just trying to pick up dangerous areas in and around the 6-yard box. Foden, is he going to triple City's lead? And he does. Lifts the ball over Kobel. Two players in the area, Pascal Gross and Kobel. Phil Foden finds the top corner, and City do extend their lead. De Jong finds him. Gross is tucked in, but he steps up there to try and meet De Jong, when really we had the situation under control on the edge of the box. De Jong could have got a shot away. Maybe Kobel wouldn't have been best pleased with his defenders if he allowed that, but De Jong's shot would have had to come through multiple bodies if it was going to find the back of the net. And I don't think we really needed Anton to step up and try and meet De Jong. Like I said, I think we had the situation under control. Metcha finds Gittens. Ryerson again is just going to have to turn back to retain possession. And we can't find Adeyemi. Zabitzer thankfully well placed to stop the counter-attack, and Pascal Gross the same. Somebody move somewhere. Somebody move somewhere. Adeyemi. Heavy touch. This is just awful. This is just absolutely awful. Zabitzer steals it away. Max Bayer making just a bizarre run. So bizarre. Where are you going? Nowhere useful. Bayer was zigzagging. It was like he didn't want me to know where he was going. It was like he was trying to throw me off his scent. Running like 6 different directions. Where are you going? De Jong. This time we do need someone to step up. Zabitzer does so. He's had a good first half, to be fair, Zabitzer. Not too many players in black and yellow that you can say that about, and Bayer's just been eased off the ball. Just muscled off so easily. We would have started Garassi today if he was available, but he is injured. I'm not sure we're going to get him back this season, to be honest. Haaland could challenge Schlotterbeck. Haaland wrestles the ball back though. De Jong, and this is exactly what I meant earlier. De Jong got the shot away, but it had to come through bodies. And Kobel, as we said, furious with his defenders, but was able to make the save. However, he has been unable to make the save on 3 separate occasions in the first half, and we do find ourselves 3-0 down to Manchester City at half-time in the first leg of our Champions League semi-final. And it is looking very unlikely at this stage that we are going to be progressing to the final 2. If you're enjoying the game and today's episode, please take a second to like the video. And if you want to see more realistic FC25 content, be sure to subscribe, not just to catch the next episode of this series, but other realistic career modes, realistic rebuilds, slider updates that might be dropping in the future. And if you want to get ahead of the curve and see those kinds of videos before anybody else, consider becoming a 12th man member of the channel. Membership starts at just $1.99 a month and grants you exclusive early access to all new videos, with tier rewards scaling up from there, and including the possibility of being featured in my career mode saves. Thank you to everyone who is already supporting the channel through their membership. It is genuinely very much appreciated and helps the channel to run. But now let's head back out for the second half. So several ways we could approach this second half. I think we're going to go with just trying to control possession. We could come out and immediately try and push for a goal to get back in the game and to get back in the tie overall. Schlotterbeck just about finds Brandt. I'm not sure that's the right approach. I think that would only invite Manchester City to go and get a 4th goal and put the game beyond all doubt before we have even made it to the second leg. Metcha. Again, somebody move somewhere. Adeyemi just finds Ryerson, who is going to have to move back over to that left-hand side. Not before he's got a shot away, though. So we are going to have to chop and change positions slightly. Didn't consider that as I changed those tactics, because Gross is going to be on the left-hand side now. But I think we can't afford, as De Jong makes way for De Bruyne, we can't afford to overextend here in the second half and allow Manchester City a 4th goal. I think that would be pretty much suicide. That would be tie over. So I think we just have to try and stem the bleeding ahead of the second fixture. Try and grab a goal back. Maybe from a set piece. Maybe from a moment of attacking brilliance, which seems unlikely given the first half. Jamie Gittins, and Rodri is already on a yellow. This is going to help us out greatly. We wondered if he'd see red in the first half. He didn't. He saw yellow, and he's put in another aggressive challenge there, Rodri. And he is going to see a second yellow, and Manchester City will go down to 10 men. So I think perhaps now that changes things. I'm not sure we're going to get a better opportunity to get back into the game than this. With City down to 10 and a 3-goal lead, I think now we do press. I think now we do push to get back into the tie. It's not going to happen like that. So let's step up into our push tactics and chase at least 1 goal in this game. If Manchester City with 10 men keep a clean sheet and go on and score a 4th, then so be it. Then so be it. It was a long shot anyway. But I think if we were to not try and press and get back into the tie here, I think we would come to regret it. Great challenge in Mecha. Gittins. Heavy touch. Where is he going? Just the heaviest touch you will ever see for absolutely no reason. Absolutely none. Julian Brand again just standing there and watching him do it as well. Well cut out by Mecha. And again we're going to have to switch Ryerson back over to the left, Gross onto the right. Julian Brand finds Gross. Brandt once more. Zabitzer. Mecha. Finds the feet of Adeyemi, who finds the overlapping run of Ryerson, who pulls it back towards Max Bayer, who takes a touch, fires, saved by Edison. That's the way we need to play to get back into this tie. And we will make a couple of changes here as the ball goes out for a corner. Daniel Marlin and Merlin Rell to come on. Max Bayer and Jamie Gittins to come off. So a slight refresh up front as Julian Brand will deliver the corner in towards Mecha, who rises highest, but unfortunately still not quite high enough to get his head to the ball. Brandt once again. Mecha lays it off for Zabitzer. It's a great strike, and it does test Edison. Unfortunately doesn't beat him though. Pretty much down his throat, but does at least force a save from the City keeper. And it's another loose pass from City, who seem to be ailing now. Merlin Rell has the pace to get past Kyle Walker. Just going to have to turn back to Julian Brandt. Ryerson. Mecha strikes from range, doesn't quite get the shot away. Really good challenge. And Phil Foden is one-on-one with Nico Schlotterbeck. He squares it to Haaland, who strikes from range, blocked by Schlotterbeck. So up front is Daniel Marlin. We now have Karim Adeyemi on the right-hand side. Merlin Rell in the number 10. And Julian Brandt out on the left. Zabitzer finds Brandt. Kyle Walker for company. Can't quite find Daniel Marlin. It did take him, and it's such a heavy touch again. Why can I not sprint without them punting the ball 5 yards forward? Unreal. Every time I try and sprint. Phil Foden. Schlotterbeck. Yet again. And can he find Brandt? Not quite. Decent effort. City will make their final change of the game. Kyle Walker off for Nathan Ake. Okay. So a significantly slower player and a left-footed player on the right-hand side for City now. Phil Foden, though, is burst away from Ryerson. Schlotterbeck comes across again, and Zabitz is going to have to tuck in there. And thankfully, Kobel parries away at the near post. Oh, and we are in real trouble here. Real trouble. Such a good challenge from Anton, though. Into Raul's feet. And Adeyemi, on your bike, son. On your bike. Guardiola's got a frustrating amount of pace for a left back. Adeyemi does get there, though. Cuts inside. Big save again from Edison. Very good effort from Adeyemi. And I thought maybe the ball had snuck past Edison for a minute there. He didn't quite manage to hold on to it the first time, but did claw it back into his grasp. Somebody make a run ahead of me. Especially since I'm spamming run. I'm spamming LB. Zavitsa. Adeyemi. There's Röhrl again. See what I mean? That's like 5 yards ahead of him. Allow me to sprint. Why have you punted the ball 5 yards up the field? That's insane. Adeyemi. Gross wants it back. He's so slow. He does get there, though. Adeyemi. Going to curl one towards the far corner. I thought that was going top bins. I thought that was going top bins. I'm not sure if it even hit the bar there or the stanchion. I saw something rattle. I think it was the stanchion. Such a good effort from Adeyemi, who looks very dangerous on the right-hand side, to be fair. Cutting in onto that left foot. He has looked very, very good. We tend to play him out on the left. But perhaps we should just reserve that for Jamie Gittens and allow Adeyemi to play down the right, especially since Daniel Marlin could well be on his way in the summer. I think Adeyemi is certainly making a case that he should be the out-and-out starter at right midfield next season. We'll just drop it into that channel where Merlin Röhrl just about gets to the ball. Dangerous pass, but we do find Zavitsa, who in turn finds Gross. And again, we will send Adeyemi on his bike. This one has a little too much on it, and Edison just hooks clear. And we will make another change. We have very few options on the bench that are even viable, really. But Nicolas Söhler will come on for Anton, who is struggling in terms of stamina towards the end of this game. And Pascal Gross not going to get there. He is so unbelievably slow. Just one of the reasons that he's certainly not suited to that right back position, but we don't really have other options. We've been starting Ryerson there, but that means starting Benzebaini at left back, and Benzebaini not fit enough to start the game. Röhrl, and it's a good challenge, just about gets the ball. Phil Foden, good challenge Ryerson. Just has to turn back though. We need the ball if we're going to get back in the game, so couldn't really just kind of punt a hopeful pass upfield. Man City still pressing. Adeyemi, go on, one-on-one, gets Rudiger. Somebody has to run somewhere. Somebody has to. Merlin Röhrl blocked and out of play. Again, I'm spamming run. I need somebody to make a run in behind. Zavitsa won't be taking this. It will be Julian Brandt. And we will look for a run across the near post here, driven in low and hard. Oh, and it was into a good area. Couldn't quite get up and win it again. Adeyemi. Oh no, and he's just played it into the feet of Haaland, just trying to squeeze it into Merlin Röhrl. And City are away through Haaland. Completely outnumbered by black and yellow shirts though. Savinho. Foden. Röhrl for company. Wriggles past Merlin Röhrl though. Can't wriggle past Ryerson, who's done an admirable job to be fair. Kind of out of position. Again, left back. Technically a secondary position for Ryerson. How suited he is to that position, I'm not sure. But he's been more than competent today. Oh, and Schlotterbeck for once has lunged and failed to win it. Haaland, can he put the game beyond doubt for City? or the tie beyond doubt. This game is certainly beyond doubt. Get there. Good save, Kobel. That was to the wrong player. Adeyemi, on your bike. No! Why have you taken 6 extra touches? I powered that up so long ago. I powered that up so long ago. Sabitzer takes like 6 extra touches. And Adeyemi is obviously 10 yards offside. Unreal. Unreal. De Bruyne. Schlotterbeck. How good has Schlotterbeck been? Just absolutely everywhere, all times. Been so good. Well, Savinho gets a foot in. Savinho playing like a holding midfield role for City at the moment, by the way. And excelling at that, apparently. Haaland. Guess who? Schlotterbeck. Gross gives it up. Oh, God. And it was Serler with the block, I think. Almost on the goal line. Oh, it was Nicolas Serler with the block just inside the 6-yard box to prevent City from grabbing a fourth. Get up. Schlotterbeck heads clear. Will Adeyemi get there? Yes, he will, but the referee will blow his full-time whistle, and it will be 3-0 Man City. They did well to hold on after going down to 10 men in the second half. By then, though, they already had a 3-goal lead to hold on to. So, an uphill battle, certainly, heading over to the Etihad for the second leg. Haaland with 2, but really it was Phil Foden that pulled the strings going forward for Man City. We struggled in the first half. We created a number of opportunities in the second. None massively clear-cut, though, to be honest. We asked for a challenge. We have certainly got it. We did, of course, drop to 3rd place in the Bundesliga in the last episode. We'll have a chance to reclaim 2nd in a few days as we take on Leverkusen. First, though, we will be taking on Wolfsburg at Signal Iduna Park. Guirassy almost back for this one. Is back in training, but Max Bayer starts up front again. It's Marcel Sabitzer who grabs 2 goals to give us a 2-0 win, though. And with Guirassy still out and Max Bayer not really impressing up front, it's going to be Donyell Malen to lead the line in the second leg against Manchester City to try and overcome that 3-0 deficit from the first fixture. Man City picked up pretty much exactly where they left off in the first fixture, forcing a number of big saves from Gregor Kobel early. As they did at Signal Iduna Park, City created a number of opportunities in the first half, and potentially even more opportunities because we were pushing to grab a goal right from the off in this one. So it was a much more open game with opportunities at either end. City's, though, were far better than ours. This from Donyell Malen being our best opportunity of the first half. And although we'd like to try and keep things as realistic as possible here on the channel, sometimes unrealistic things happen and you simply can't prevent them. That was the case as Jack Grealish opened the scoring for City. And when Joselu doubled City's lead late in the game, there was truly no way back for us in the tie. So we do unfortunately depart from the Champions League at the semi-final stage, as do Arsenal. They were bested 4-3 on aggregate by Barcelona, so it'll be City-Barcelona in the final, which leaves just 2 final Bundesliga games here in Season 1. First, as we travel to the Bayer Arena to take on Leverkusen, and we will finally have Guirassy back in the starting lineup. And there's no prizes for guessing what we've been missing in the last couple of games. It's Guirassy. He opened the scoring within 5 minutes, and it was important that we got off to that head start because Leverkusen piled the pressure on. And if we didn't have that 1-goal lead, we could have been 2 or 3 down ourselves within 20 minutes. And on the 20-minute mark, Bayer Leverkusen did get back into the game, the ball dropping for Florian Wirtz. Both teams would have their opportunities to win the game in the second half. Guirassy squaring for Bino Gittens when he looked certain to grab a second goal of his own. And Leverkusen testing Gregor Kobel once again through Florian Wirtz. But we thought that back 3 of Bayer Leverkusen would be exposed in the first fixture earlier in the series. They were certainly exposed today, not once but twice, by Guirassy. So although Leverkusen dominated the game, really they, again, like City, created more opportunities than us, created better opportunities than us. Guirassy is exactly what we have been missing the last handful of games. And he was on hand to dispatch the handful of opportunities that he was given over the course of the game and allow us to come away with the 2-1 victory. Which brings us to our final game of Season 1 as we finish out the season at home against Holstein. So it should be a good way to see off the season in front of the home fans. And indeed it is. Garassi getting on the score sheet again. Ben Zabani and Nico Schlotterbeck, 2 defenders, getting on the score sheet as well. Decent enough way to finish the season after a disappointing exit from the Champions League. So we do finish a point above Bayer Leverkusen in the end, in second position in the Bundesliga. Bayern Munich, the runaway winners, but we have qualified for the Champions League in Season 2. The outcome of the DFB Pokal is yet to be decided, but it's going to be Union Berlin, overperformers this season, against RB Leipzig in the final. And of course, we are also yet to find out who will be taking home the Champions League trophy, but it will be Barcelona Man City in the final. So in general, it was a pretty successful Season 1 overall. More specifically, we did achieve a couple of our objectives. We did, of course, manage to finish in a European place in the Bundesliga, so we will be able to sign one first-team player next year. And we did also reach the quarterfinal, at the very least, of the Champions League, so we don't have to sell a top player this summer. However, I think we will be selling a top player regardless. We haven't yet managed to sign 8 players with 85 plus overall, and I don't think we are going to achieve this objective. However, we do still have 4 spots to fill in our youth academy. So we'll take one final look over the scout reports, and I think we went a little too high with 85 plus being the potential that we're aiming for in terms of that youth academy objective, because even somebody like Philip Winter is technically not going to have 85 potential because he's got 75 to 94. If he had 75 to 95 potential range, then he would have exactly 85 potential. Finding anybody over 85 is almost impossible. Thankfully, we do have a 95% chance of signing Winter though. And indeed, we do get the signing over the line. So we will add Philip Winter to the squad. There's a couple of other Belgian CDMs that I like the look of as well. So I think we'll also try and sign them. We have a 90% chance of signing De Konik. So we should be able to get that signing over the line as well. And we do. So we will sign Luka De Konik. And Lorenzo, we have a 100% chance of signing. So we don't even need to run that through Buzzko's CoreDNA realistic signing calculator. Marius Laron may be the final player that we sign. He is another CDM, but 54 to 68 in terms of his overall range. 1.5 million euros should mean he's more up towards the top end of that, and 72 to 90 potential is not bad at all. 0 to 1 playstyles disappoints me. Our other option probably is Robert Newman or Robert Neumann. However, he's a left midfielder. We have plenty of left midfielders in the youth academy. So I think we will go with Marius Laron. Again, a player we would have a 100% chance of being able to sign. So Philip Winter is a 63 overall right back, 75 to 94 potential. He's got 83 pace and 2 play styles, one of which is tiki-taka. I think he's going to be an ideal fit in that right wing back role. He is left footed, so we're going to have to work on his weak foot. Luka De Konik is a 6'6" monster. 6'6", 180, 65 overall, 62 defending, 67 physical. No play styles, unfortunately. And then Lefebvre, I guess maybe is the way that you pronounce his name. 64 overall, pretty tall as well. 6'3", 176. He has 64 defending, 71 physical, and 4-star skill moves and weak foot. Again, no playstyles is slightly disappointing. And then finally, Marius Laron. Once again, no playstyles. 64 overall, 72 to 90 potential. Looks solid enough. I think we probably have some contenders for centre-back here at CDM once again. 1, 2, 3. We've got 6 CDMs. I think probably we move De Konik to centre-back, given his height and his ability to defend. I think the same probably goes for Lorenzo. So I think although we haven't signed 8 youth academy prospects with 85 plus potential, I don't think that was ever a realistic possibility. I think the rarity of those kinds of prospects is so that just it never would have been possible to sign 8 of them. I think when when I worded that particular objective, I didn't appreciate how rare those prospects were. So I think the spirit of the objective, we have absolutely stacked our youth academy with talent. I think we have to consider that we've achieved that objective, even though technically we have failed it. So we will be able to hire a 5-star youth scout heading into season 2. And then our final short-term objective of season 1 was to contribute 8 goals and assists with Jamie Gittins. We didn't manage to do that. So it's going to have to be Karim Adeyemi to play the more prominent role next season. And then in terms of our long-term objective, we didn't manage to win the Bundesliga in season 1. We would have been able to ignore the consequences of 2 failed objectives, increase our transfer budget by 50%, break the transfer record, and sign a star player this season. We won't be able to do those things though. If we do win the Bundesliga next year, we could ignore the consequences of 1 failed objective at least, and sign 2 first-team players instead of 1. In terms of the final statistics here in Season 1, Guirassy finished with 19 goals and 7 assists. And that was enough to win him Fans Player of the Season here in Season 1. One of our club captains, Julius Brandt, finished with 10 goals and 12 assists. That was enough to win him Manager's Player of the Season. It was 10 goals and 4 assists for Donyell Marlin, 9 goals for Emre Can. Pretty sure we saw him score a hat-trick at one point as well. 7 and 4 for Zabitzer, 6 goals and 4 assists for Karim Adeyemi, and his play certainly improved over the last couple of months of the season, and that's why he was voted Players Player of the Season. Jamie Gittins, however, was slightly disappointing. 6 goals and 3 assists. Max Bayer, we saw flashes from him at times, but he too was disappointing overall. 4 and 2 for Gross, 2 and 1 for Schlotterbeck. Couple of goals for Benzabaini as well. The same for Serler. 2 goals and 1 assist for Merlin Röhl in his first couple of months as a Dortmund player. Mecha popped up with a goal. Reina popped up with a goal. And although we didn't quite see as much from Jan Kuto as we would have liked, he picked up an injury towards the end of the season. Delaney's performances were enough for him to win Young Player of the Year here in Season 1. And that will do it for Season 1 of the Realistic Borussia Dortmund Career Mode. Only 5 episodes since we started halfway through the season, but we will have a full 10 episode Season 2. And in the very first episode of Season 2, we will of course go through all of the CoreDNA updates. We'll be unlocking some additional abilities and traits using the DNA points that we've earned over the course of Season 1. We'll be inputting our remaining budget from this season to see what money we'll be working with in the following season. And of course, we will be promoting a handful of our Youth Academy prospects to the first team. We will also be welcoming back a number of our players from loan spells like Soumaila Koulibaly, like David Wilhelmsen and Sadiq Adetola, like Özcan, like Duranville, like Cole Campbell, I guess like Sebastian Aller, and of course, like Yusufa Mokoko. We will also have some new objectives to set, some transfer business to get to, both incoming and outgoing. So we'll look forward to all of that in Season 2. I hope to see you there. Take it easy.